like to do to the whole world?
Burn it all.
See you next year.
Well, well, well. Look who decided to finally show up. I was at a point in my life where I discovered that working with my hands was therapeutic. It actually soothed. It actually soothed. Soothed? The only phrase that I can think of that describes it wholly is, you should feel like you're sparkling. The only phrase I can think of that sums it up correctly is, slap your mama. It's like having a 6-foot hard-on with a cheeseburger on the end of it, baby. Woo! It's like a whiskey-filled enema that's attached to. It's like a whiskey-filled enema connected to a car battery. It's like using a whiskey-filled enema connected to a car battery. What is up, cupcakes? You got a couple of the outtakes. That was the intro. Sorry, that's what's gonna happen. So I've been trying to figure out this weird box situation that I'm in, and I think I figured it out, but I couldn't fix it without canceling the live stream and redoing it. So hopefully next time we're good. How's everybody doing? How do I sound? I sound all right? I always feel the need to go in and check my settings after this. Sounds okay? Sounds all right? All right, all right. In 1 second, I need to pull you guys up over here too, just in case. And for some reason, it doesn't want to show you guys to me. So give me a second. That's me. Yep. That's me. My videos live. We're going. All right. Apparently, we're not going to. All right. I do need a whiskey lounge. You are correct, Matt. It is school night, so we're having beer instead. But how's everybody doing? How's everything going? And I'm bummed that I can't see this live. We're going to go over here to the old YouTubers and just look it up like a civilian, like you guys, and see if we can see it there, right? Well, there we go. All right, hold on. We got to mute this. This is going to be obnoxious. All right. I think there we are. Oh, well, that's weird. All right. What's up, Robert from Nebraska? How's it going? Wish is killing me with the questions right off the bat. The next project is actually sitting right over there. I had to build another bench. Like I said, I feel like I build a million benches, but I need to get some stuff out of the way. So that bench though is going to be more about lap joints and teaching you guys how to make lap joints. And yes, ma'am. Oh, and how to do them with your miter saw. And that video, so I'm trying to do videos a little bit different now. I'm trying to give you a little bit more like a little bit more of a movie type feel to part of it. You guys let me know what you think about the video when it comes out. It's actually taken me a little bit longer to make these videos because the way I'm shooting them, this thing's killing me. The way I'm shooting and editing them takes a little bit longer. I apologize. I will get faster at it, but right now it is it is a learning process for me too. But I want you to see like some like I want you to get some good information out of it, but I also want you to see like a good cinematic video, I hope. Something along those lines. Anyway, so that's where we are right now. So Matt, the next besides the bench, the next thing that's up is, as you can see, maybe let me turn you over here a little bit. Behind that American flag right now is a window, and behind the American flag is a towel that is thumbtacked up right now because it lets light in and it messes my lighting when I'm trying to do stuff in the garage. My next video after the bench is going to be building boxes around these windows that will have something cool, I hope, engraved on the front of them and keep the light out. And then if I need a light in here, I can take them off. All right, now let me do this. Okay. Yeah, Nathan, and that's the thing. So Nathan said, publish it when you're happy with it. And so the thing is, like, I will not be rushed by videos anymore. Reason being, I've put videos out before that I felt like could have taken a little extra work. They could have taken a little bit of extra editing, but I was trying to hit a schedule, and I'm not doing that anymore. The videos will come out when they come out, and the reason they'll come out like that is because then I am happy with them. I am not happy with where this camera is right now, and I'm messing it up because I'm going backwards. All right, but Dan, I'm glad to be back burning. I really am. Part of the reason I stopped burning so much was because I was in Texas and it was so hot that anytime I wanted to burn anything, I was just like, I would change my clothes 3 times. So I'm glad to be back like in an environment where even when it's hot, it's not that bad. And I mean, you guys know, like I've already talked about it, but I really got to a point where I felt like I was just trying to sell you guys stuff to make me money. And that didn't make me feel good. Like that's not the point of the channel. The point of the channel was always to inspire you guys to do what you want to do by understanding that like working with your hands is therapeutic to a certain degree or to all the degrees. We are we are rocking the new and improved or just new Build That Build koozie. Build That Build in the front. Who's your build daddy on the back? That's right. I have not released these yet because I wanted to see how they held up. So I had them send me a couple of samples, and I'm happy to say that I'm happy with them. But not only that, just inadvertently, maybe I had a couple of too many drinks the other night, but I had a buddy of mine over. We barbecued and whatnot, and I forgot the koozies outside, and it rained. So not only did I come out to like I have 2, Not only did it come out to two koozies that were wet from the rain, but they'd also like a bunch of uh, the mulch and stuff had blown over on them, and they're all dirty and stuff. So I washed them. I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend drying them because they're neoprene, but I washed them in the washer, brought them back out. They still look amazing. So these will be going up on the site very soon. I just need to order some. Uh, Now I will say this: in the efforts to get you guys to join YouTube memberships, the first 10 people that join memberships tonight or within the next couple of days will get one of these fat boys for free. I will mail it to you, and then once I get the rest of the stock in, I'll put them up on the site. So that is, let's see, I had a couple of things to talk about. Speaking of membership, if you are a member, make sure you turn on whatever notifications you need to turn on. I've been sending things out to members, and they're not receiving them because they have their settings wacky. And the whole thing is, like, a lot of times what I will do is I will send a video out to members first, and then the general public will get it, 12 hours later, a day later. So if you guys want to be in on that, please turn on those notifications. The other thing is, since the members drive the channel, a lot of times I send out questions to them, asking them what they want to see next. And Mike is 100% when he says shop therapy, because without getting into my entire background, some of you guys know it. I've talked about it before, but I was working a 9-to-5 job. I was getting paid really well. And whenever I wanted to quit, they increased my salary by ridiculous amounts, so I would stay. But I hated it. And the day I quit was normally when you make a big life decision, you question, right, whether you did the right thing. The day I quit, the difference in how I felt and how everything related to me felt was so much different. It's the one time I can say that I made a big life decision, and I know I was absolutely right. So shop therapy is what it is. All right, let's see. All right, so I'm just going to jump into some of the Q&A. I originally started to organize these, but I figured it'd be better if they were just kind of like all over the place, and we just answered them as they came. If you guys have questions, go ahead and throw them down in the comments, and I will try to get to them. But I do have a decent list of questions that were already sent in. So what got you into woodworking, and also what's your favorite tool? I think you all know what my favorite tool is, baby. What got me into woodworking? It's a weird question. And the reason it's a weird question is because I grew up in a family that built stuff. There was no hold on a second. Sorry. Y'all are beeping. There was no would you build this or would you not build this? It was just built. My parents flipped houses. My brother is he's an electrical engineer, but before that he was like, well, I guess he was never an electrician, but he's probably more knowledgeable than most electricians in being an electrical engineer. Not, I don't want to insult anybody. I don't mean it like that, but I grew up in a family of just make it right. And what I didn't realize is that growing up like that, that not everybody grows up like that. Not everybody grows up just oh well, I need a table in the in the garage to set stuff on. Okay, well I'm just gonna go out and buy some lumber and build it. I didn't know that. So once I came to understand that, and at that point in time, I was just building shop furniture, you know, workbench, stuff like that. Uh, excuse me. And it just didn't resonate with me that not everybody knew how to do what I knew how to do. Then as a lot of you guys know, we lost our house in Harvey. We moved into a new house. This is a story I've told a million times before, but Paige, my wife, wanted a writing desk, and she wanted a desk that went in between where you walked into the master bedroom and the bathroom door, and it had to be, a certain depth, certain width, and we had insurance money, but I couldn't find anything that would fit in that area. So I was like, well, I'll just build you. I'll just build something for you. And I made that video, posted it. It is still done horribly. It's my first video ever though, and I was hooked. That was it was at that point that I realized that not everybody can do, well, you can, but knows how to do what I know how to do. And so at that point in time, it became like a thing where like, well, maybe I should show other people how to do this. Are you guys still with me? I'm just asking because nothing is moving. Okay, we're good. All right. So, favorite tool is probably my torch. Uh, I would say most practical tool, probably my miter saw. But as far as what I do and what I create, torches. I can't have enough of. Thanks, Nathan. Let's see. So next, okay. So uh, I had a question on feather boards. Do you guys know what feather boards are? I meant to grab more stuff. 1 second. So if you know what a feather board is, something that you put on your table saw or your bandsaw, and it has these little fingers that kind of only push one way. So when you push wood through, it allows it to not come back at you. It's a great idea. I've never used one. I'm not saying they're bad. I just have honestly, I have no experience with them. However, the question was, they were using feather boards and they still can't get a straight cut on their table saw. And my answer to that is like a couple of things. One, whenever you are moving board through a saw, you want to push down and towards the fence. What a featherboard does is a featherboard makes sure that it's pushing against the fence, but it doesn't make sure you're pushing down. Okay, it doesn't have the ability to do that. So what I use is a combination of a couple of things, which is went and grabbed. And where did I put that? And something you can make yourself. So what I use a lot of the time is, so this is a push stick, and this allows you to push the material from the back. Okay. So this is great for pushing it through and keeping your fingers away from the blade. But even though this has this overlying architecture here, this does not push down very well. So what I use for the most part is this guy right here. And see how this handle goes out at an angle? So I can hold this, like I can hold my arm out to the side, push down, and this pushes down. So if I'm pushing down and I have the push stick behind it, I'm pushing it forward, and this is both pushing it down and against the fence. All right, you got me? Now, if you don't have those, you can make yourself your own, which I just made this out of, I think it's a 2x6, and you can see it's seen better days. But this lays across the top of the material. Let me turn around so you can see the logo on it, baby. This lays on top of the material. This pushes the back of the material. So I can push down with this and kind of give it a little love to the right, towards the fence. Feather boards are great if you set them up correctly. So if you're having a problem with them, I mean, I would have to talk to you on a regular, like I would have to talk to you on an individual basis to know what exactly is going wrong with that. My thought, and I don't know exactly what you're doing, so I can't elaborate on that, is my thought is you're pushing from the back and you have your feather board, which is pushing into the fence, but nothing's pushing down. That's, I mean, and I don't know what you're doing. So we can definitely talk offline about that more. I think you asked that on Instagram, correct? So if you want to have like a little one-on-one about that, I mean, we could talk. But I need to know more information before I can assess it, if that makes sense. All right, hold on. So Robert says, I'm the only one in the family that does woodworking. I've been doing lasering for about 5 years and still learning. I also do vinyl decals and starting to get into 3D printing. And I just got a CNC. Nice, dude. So if you checked out the new bamboo, I don't see a reason why anybody should buy anything except the new bamboo. I don't know about, like, I know the bamboo has like lasering capabilities, and it seems like it's solid on that end. Bamboo does a really good job of researching their products before they put them out. But the fact that that thing will like dehydrate your filament when it goes through, unreal. What has been my favorite build so far? That's hard. I don't know. I've got a bunch of them for different reasons. Uh, One would be the Punisher table, and that's only because I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think it would work. There were so many failures there that the fact that that thing still exists, and I think it's on the patio now. The fact that this thing still exists and it's it's functional and it hasn't fallen apart. That that's probably one of my favorites. Uh, Carving the big Jason mask, which I actually gave away. People have been asking me to buy that Jason mask for years, and when I had uh, my tattoo artist that did my sleeve, we did. I sat with her for 6 months getting this done, a little bit at a time. And we're both horror junkies. And at the end of it, as part of her tip, I gave her that that big Jason mask, which means I just got to make another one. But the Jason mask was fun. The when I did a carving where I just carved a like a tree trunk. Um, that's it's sitting on our front porch. It's horrible. I hate it. Everybody loves it. I hate it. But it was the first time I carved like anything like that in 3D without any map or anything like that. That was a good time. I like doing that. I think that's I'm sure I will think of something after the fact that I'm like, oh, I really wish I would have said that. But those are the three that are off the top of my head. Also, everybody say, hey, what's up to Dark Hollow? He's been a huge contributor to the channel. We bullshit on a regular basis. I love the guy. He may be having a bad day. So, just I'm glad he's here. Okay, and Nathan's absolutely correct. So one thing, and this is a good point because it's actually I talk about this in the video that's getting ready to come out. A lot of people don't realize that if you have a table saw, if you get it out of the box, I mean, like your saw stops and whatnot, your expensive table saws, they're pretty dialed in, but that doesn't mean they're 100% dialed in. And that doesn't mean that SawStop did anything wrong or anybody else did anything wrong. But the thing jangling around the box or, your UPS guy throws it on the front porch or something, you get that out of true. So one of the main things is if you're not getting like straight cuts all the time, make sure that you've got a 90-degree on, from your the base of your table saw to your blade or your miter saw. I talk about that in the video that's coming up. How did I stumble across the Shigaban? Man, I don't even know. So going back to building stuff before I was making videos, I built a bench for my garage in a house 2 houses ago. And I'm trying to think where I even saw it. I don't even know why I thought to do it, but I just took a torch to it and I just burned it lightly. Did the like a surface burn to it. I just really liked the way it looked, and then I finished it with like boiled linseed oil. It looked really good, but I don't know where. I don't know exactly where I first kind of went down. So a lot of people will torch things, but there's a difference between putting a light surface burn on something and like actually burning the wood and getting that soft cellulose material out of there and really getting a like good texture to it. And I don't know why exactly I first decided to do that because my first couple of burns were not deep. I think I really just was like, what'll happen if I char the shit out of this? Pardon my French. But yeah, what's up, Mike? So, Mike, did you totally miss my answer for your featherboard thing? I think you did. If you didn't, we need to let's talk offline. What is up, bearded printer? Oh, you got it? Cool. Awesome. Like I said, like sorry about But Mike, yeah, definitely just shoot me a DM and we can like if what I said didn't resonate, shoot me a DM, and we can talk about it further. All right, let's see. Do I offer mentorships? I do not. Uh, I would totally do that. I would want to know what you want to be mentored in, because a lot of times it's hard for me because I feel like I'm just some dude that does stuff. And then some people are like, wow, what you do is, something I can't do. And my thought is this whole channel space around, yes, you can. So I would need to know what you want to be mentored in. If you guys are looking for some sort of mentorship by me, definitely like email me. Let me throw it out there. Email me and tell me what you're interested in, and we can talk about that. I mean, we can talk about building a business. We can talk about making YouTube channels, like or building a YouTube channel. I mean, like that's fine, but like when you just ask me about mentorships, I don't know exactly what you want me to mentor you in. So drink a beer. I can tell you about that. All right. Let's see. How has woodworking helped with your mental health, especially on tough days? So, like I said in the beginning, I realized I didn't realize woodworking was helping with my tough days until I realized that woodworking was helping with my tough days. Since then, since I quit my job, since I've felt 100% vindicated from my 9 to 5, I, sorry, this is bothering me. Okay. Uh, eh, it's weird because there are days where I want nothing to do with the shop. I want to sit on the couch and I want to rot until I fall asleep. Those are the really hard days. What I found is when I want nothing to do with the shop, when I when I'm questioning why I do what I do, I've discovered, I've said this before, but I've discovered that if I can make myself get off my fat ass and go out into the shop and just tell myself that I'm going to pick up or I'm going to clean or I'm going to put my tools away, which needs to happen, right? Um, as soon as I remove my fat ass from the couch and I walk into the shop, my mood totally changes. So I have found my happy place, right? It's just sometimes your brain don't want to do it, right? So you just have to like kind of make yourself do it. And it's kind of smaller steps sometimes where if I was like, you need to go out in the shop and make a video, nah, like my brain's going to tell you no. But hey, you know what? Go out and just like sweep and like clean it up a little bit, you sloppy bastard. That'll motivate me off the couch. And then I get out here and then the energy's there, dude. And then my hands are working on stuff. That's the good stuff. So Mike says, for me, it helps me clear my head and feel like I'm accomplishing something and being creative. It's an outlet for me. Me too. Uh, it's like anything else though. Sometimes my brain says, you don't want to do that. When really I do. You know what I mean? It's just it's 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 the mental battles we fight. Matt needs to understand how to replace a dining room tabletop. Something old world and durable, maybe a German built table. We should talk offline. Matt, I was gonna build you a table, and then you're like, I don't want anything creative. I just want a table. And I'm like, that's not what I do. I I gotta pour something into it. I will absolutely build you a table or tabletop. Hmm. All right, let's see what we got. We just did that one. Do you ever struggle with perfectionism when creating? Yes and no. What I've learned is that it's never going to be 100% the way you want it. And what I've also learned is that most people will not see the glaring mistakes that you think you've made. So, do I struggle with when to especially when I'm making an art piece? So, I don't know if you guys can see it. We'll go over here. This guy in the corner. This is 2x4s that I carved. And did I struggle with when that was going to be finished? Yeah, a lot. Why? Because oh god, this drives me nuts every time. Turn over here. Turn over here. Okay. Are we good? No, we're not good. No, we went too far away. All right, we're just gonna do this. Hey. All right, perfect. Um, Usually when I'm creating an art piece, I will go 1 to 2 steps past where I think it was good. Meaning that I will take it and I'm sorry, this is gonna drive me nuts. It's on the center. There we go. Now we turn them on. Uh, Meaning that a lot of times I will do um, I will decide maybe this needs a little yellow in it, and I'll put some yellow on it, and I'm like, that looks like shit. And then I got to take it off, and then I have to decide if I want to add another color or if it's done. And a lot of times I decide it's done at that point because I feel like I'm just like throwing shit at a fan at that point, really. Like, oh, well, I thought this could use a little yellow. Put the yellow on there, doesn't look good. So, do I want to put some blue on it? Probably not. It was probably because the yellow probably didn't look good because it was finished, right? Do you have a focus or direction forward with with your channel? I feel like your potential is huge, or are you happy with it as it is? I'm not happy with where it is, which is kind of the whole point of the relaunch. The idea of the channel was woodworking. It wasn't even woodworking, it was making. It was working with your hands is therapeutic. That's what gets me through a lot of things. Whether it's woodworking, I mean, even laser engraving to a certain degree, like working with my hands and building something takes my mind off of a lot of shit And it gives me focus, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment when it's done. What ended up happening was, hold on, we're gonna need another beer for this. I have my handy dandy little suitcase of burrs down here in Canadian. What ended up happening was, and it's my own fault. I blame no one else. I started getting a lot of people, a lot of companies that would offer me money if I would peddle their wares. And when I started out, let me back up. When I started the channel, I had a certain dollar amount that I wanted to be making before I quit my job. I started having some health issues that were directly related to my job. So I talked to my wife, and we decided that if we like tighten our belts, I could quit my job earlier than planned. So I quit. Now, keep in mind, and I'm going to throw some quick and dirty numbers at you. I went from making like 80 grand a year to like 15 and 18, which we had budgeted for. But when you go from making this kind of money to this kind of money, you want to make more. And the first year that the channel was, that was all I did, it was probably about 15, 18 grand, you know? Also, don't tell anybody else I'm talking about money because I'm sure people will freak out. Then I started having a bunch of companies contact me, and they're like, "Hey, like if you'll wrap our thing, we'll we'll give you money. We'll give you affiliate money." Which I was really fortunate because one of the first companies that I decided to do that with was Xtool. And Xtool makes good products. They're they're well received, and they paid me. Okay, so they never paid me to make a video. I just made a bunch of affiliate money off them. Part of it was, excuse me, give me this one. This is tequila. Um, Part of it was because they were really well received by the community, and part of it was because I worked my ass off and repped their shit. As those affiliate sales started to kind of fade a little bit, I had a bunch of other laser companies were contacting me. They wanted to do the same thing. And at first I was like, sure, like why wouldn't I want to do this again? What I found out is that I started to get in with some of these companies where their equipment was shitty or their software was shitty, and people were buying it because I told them to, and they were contacting the company, and the company was saying like, or the company probably wasn't responding or didn't respond with what they wanted, and then they're contacting me because I'm the one that told you to buy it. And at first, that wasn't such a big deal either. What kind of hit it home more than anything? Well, one, I was totally unhappy. I was not happy doing review video after review video after review video. I've said it before. If I wanted to make like a product review channel, I would have. It would be tech. it wouldn't be this. But I was just like, I felt like I was making the same video over and over. But what really hit home was, and you guys have been around for a long time, know. Uh, when a company contacts me and I really don't want to work with them, I have what I call an FU number. So they're like, how much to do this? And my FU number is too high for you to say yes. So a company contacted me and they said, we want you to review our machine. And I said, here's my FU number. And they said, great. If you triple that, can you make 3 videos? And that was a lot of money for 3 videos. So I made those 3 videos. And I liked the machine at that time. So I've always, anytime I've reviewed anything, even if I'm affiliate or whatever, I won't come out and straight up tell you it's horrible, but I will point out the problems with it. At that point in time, it was a pretty solid machine. Anyway, the thing is, like, so I licensed my videos and my face to them for FU times 3 money. And shortly thereafter, they started having a big problem being able to produce the machines and the quality that I received. And the software, the proprietary software they had, they weren't supporting, so nobody could fix it. And the next thing I know, I'm the asshole that sold you the machine. And a lot of that was, well, part of it was they offered me a lot of money to do that. And at that point in time, I kind of needed the cash. But the other thing was I didn't research. I didn't ask them enough questions. I also didn't know how to write a contract in my benefit at that point in time. But that was kind of the big thing right there. That was the like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. If people contact me now, it's not even about the FU money. It is like, all right, I need to know like what kind of customer support you have. Because here's what I found out in reviewing a bunch of cheap Chinese lasers, better for lack of a better term, is that they don't have any support. Or when they do, since they're like on the other side of the globe, they are not available when we are awake. Problem with that is then somebody has a problem with their machine, they can't get a hold of customer support and they contact me. I don't mind helping people with their machines, but nobody paid me to be customer support either, right? You paid me to peddle your wares. So that's the first question off the top is like, what's your customer support look like? Because I want to know if you're going to support your product. I had a deal recently, which if you guys paid enough attention, you would know who this company is. I'm not saying their names because actually I feel like they did make a right at the end, but they sent me a machine. I had a bunch of problems with it. I went through support with them and whatnot, and I kept having these problems and one of the first questions I asked them was like, how are you going to support this machine? Because I work with AP Laser. AP Laser has 24/7 customer support. If you call AP Laser any time of day or night, any day of the week, if you don't get somebody on the phone, somebody calls you back within like 10 to 15 minutes. And all those guys like know the machines. So your support is like top notch, and you do not have to wait. And their whole idea is if you buy our machine and it goes down, that's money out the window, right? So we want to get you up and running as fast as possible. Now, that's a pretty high bar to strive for. New company contacts me, want to send me a machine. First thing I ask is like, what's your customer service look like? They tell me that they're going to be like 24/7, blah, blah, blah. I get the machine. I'm having some problems with it. Every time I contact them, they're like, somebody will contact you back. And then a day later, I would get an email and it would schedule a time, which is already aggravating. And then the thing is, like, so I would be scheduled to go on with John at 1 p.m. and they wouldn't come on until like 1:30. And I'm like, if you're going to treat me like that, how are you going to treat customers? And so after that went on a couple of times, they finally were like, hey man, we're going to let you talk to like our main guy. Like he's the guru of fixing machines, because apparently the machine I got, at least what they say, is that it kind of skipped QA, like quality assurance didn't see it, because I ended up taking that entire machine apart trying to fix things with their help. Anyway, so Johnny Fantastic, I have a call with him at like 3 o'clock on a Thursday. 3 o'clock rolls around. I'm sitting here in the shop. I've got my computer on. I've got Zoom or whatever we're doing up. My headphones in, waiting. Because I don't know about you guys, but I got shit to do. And like 30 minutes roll past. Doesn't log in. So I sent him an email and I was like, sorry, like, I can't wait anymore. I'm busy. His response to me was like, oh, I got caught up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, that's not good enough. I'm sorry, but like, I'm like, everybody in your company has been a half hour late or 15 minutes late to every call that I've been on. And his response to me was like, listen, Nick, I'm trying to help you now. And I was like, you're going to talk to me or a customer like that. Right? So I was like, nope, I'm done. And so I told him to take it and shove it. That machine sat in my shop for months before they decided, because my favorite thing was they're like, oh yeah, you can send it back. Just send it back and we'll we'll pay you back. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, you guys haven't done anything proactively yet. Anyway, so you know what? They went out of their way to try to make it right, even by offering to like give me gifts or something or another, which I declined. But I hope I hope what it was like the way I came after them with their customer service will fix it in the future. But until they fix it, I'm not interested. I don't want to deal with the machine anymore. That was a tirade. I'm sorry. But yeah, so my focus for the channel is going forward, real quick, since I've just rambled forever, is I want to build stuff. I want to make art. I want to teach you guys how to build stuff also. And what I also want to teach you guys is how to market it so you can make money. That's kind of my thing. I would like to make sure that you guys, if you have a side hustle, that you know how to make money on it. If you want to make it your main hustle, you know what to do. So Noise mofo. Uh, long way around to your answer there. All right. Let's see what we got. Struggle with perfection. Nope, because I'm an idiot. Would you ever let your kids design a project for you to build? So I have. Um, I have like designed stuff for them in the past, but they were really young and it was really remedial. They haven't asked me to make anything more complex yet, but I would absolutely do that. Ozzy always really wants to be out in the shop until he gets out in the shop and then he wants to screw off and he doesn't really want to like do anything. So until he's more interested in the doing part, unless they just ask me and say please and daddy and thank you, um, I mean, I would do that. But like if they want to like build something more complex, then I like Tommy's not really interested in it. Ozzy is more. I would consider it more if he wanted to be involved. Right now, he's way more into like he wants to be on camera, but he doesn't want to do anything for the build. He just wants to, be the camera entertainment. I had a CNC, Mike. Uh, I had a CNC, and I just never really, I never really got the hang of it, and it took up a lot of room in the shop, and it's really loud. So it makes it hard to like film videos while it's going, things like that. But I will, yeah. I mean, like, but that being said, I know people that make really cool stuff with CNCs. Like my buddy, this is going to get me demonetized right there, but Titty Nick, he has a 3D CNC, like a 3-axis CNC. So it looks kind of like a what's the spinny thing that you carve stuff on? God damn it, I can't think of what it's called now. I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, but it's so the thing spins and it has a CNC spindle that comes out and carves it. So like this, like he carved that on a CNC, like all those skulls and stuff. He's gonna be mad because I'm gonna show his mistake in a second. But this was all carved on a CNC. Obviously, this piece was carved separate from this piece, right? Uh, lathe, lathe, like a spinny lathe. Whenever I see his work, which is amazing, and if you haven't checked him out, his last name is Birchtold. Birchtold. I don't have a good way to put this in here. Anyway, if you guys are interested, email me and I will tell you where to go find Titty Nick. He does like crazy amazing stuff. Um, and the thing is, like, I'm like, oh man, I really wanted one of those 3D lathe things. And I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to start. I wouldn't know how to program it or anything. Yes, lathe. Good work. How do you decide when a piece is done when you're making art? I feel like I already answered that. What's your favorite thing you've ever laser engraved so far? It would be. I don't have pictures of this. I wish I did. Here, hold on. I can pull up the. Um, I can pull up the link to the video, but I don't know what this is going to look like on here. But This is my favorite thing that I've laser engraved. I wish I had I wish actually, you know what? I could probably grab a screenshot of just the front of it, right? This is going to be really small, but we'll throw it up there anyway. And the thing that sucks about this is I worked so hard on this. This video has like no uh, no presence online. There it is. So that table is walnut, maple, purple heart, and then what is that? This cherry. So it's supposed to be walnut, cherry, uh, purple heart, and I accidentally mixed up my walnut with my cherry. Anyway, that design is laser cut into that wood, and then that cherry, the dragon design, is laid in there. It's an inlay. That table, it looks so amazing. It took me so long, and nobody gave a shit about that table, which kind of sucks because that was that was that was a work of art. What did JNC say? Now that you're much more experienced in this art form, would you go back and remake a past project in the mindset that, oh, I could have made that better? 100%, I would remake every project I made, every one of them, because there is something that I learned from every one of my projects that I would go back and do differently, especially. And so I think Brian said, especially regarding the epoxy tables. I made so many mistakes in those epoxy tables because I didn't know what I was doing. That yeah, I would have 100% do them all again. Uh, as far as YouTube goes, I could do a comeback or two, but I wouldn't want to do all of my projects again because I just don't think it would do well. And some of them, I mean, some of them were just an experiment. You know, I wanted to see if I could do it. The fact that I could do it better now doesn't mean I would make it again, if that makes sense. How do you decide what to sell on Etsy versus what to keep for content? So I try to make everything content. My idea for Etsy has always been this, and this is just my opinion. I always wanted to have anything that was so you got to know a little bit about Etsy. But the thing is, like, people want you to be a star seller. They want you to offer free shipping and they want you to have 5-star rating. So I never wanted to sell anything that was going to be kind of half-ass, right? Because you don't want to screw with your rating. Um, and I guess the only other one of those is like the free shipping part of it, right? So I never wanted to ship anything heavy because anything you ship on Etsy, in order to have free shipping, you have to build the shipping into the price, which I think most people understand that's the thing. But so I mainly sell keychains on Etsy because they're light, they're small, they're easy to ship. Uh, and there's not a whole lot of variance between if I'm shipping it to Alaska or if I'm shipping it to Maine. Because I don't like the fact that, let's say, well, let's take the same example. Let's say that I have a cutting board and it's 2 pounds or whatever, And if I ship to Alaska, it's going to cost me, and I'm just making this up, so don't hold me to this, but it's going to cost me $10. And if I ship to Maine, it's going to cost me $5. Well, in order for me to make sure that like my bottom line is normal, I have to make sure that that $10 is built into every cutting board, because I don't know if 45 people from Alaska are going to order cutting boards or if 45 people from Maine are. Yes, if 45 people from Maine order those, I make more money. But to me, that's kind of shitty. Sorry, I try to be fair. So my keychains, if I send something to Alaska versus Maine, the difference in shipping is negligible. It's 50 cents. So I don't feel really so bad about that. And so what I do is instead of charging 75 cents for Alaska and 25 cents for Maine, I charge 50 cents, because that way I feel like everybody breaks even and everybody's getting a square deal. So, and I don't ever want to drop ship on Etsy, because everything that I send somebody, I'm quality assurance. I know how it goes out. I know everything about it. I make sure that I personalize it when I send it out. All that. If I come up with a bunch of shirt designs and start selling them on Etsy, and they get them and they don't like the quality of the shirt, they don't like how it was shipped or something like that, I don't have any control over that, and that screws with uh, my rating and my bottom line. So I don't drop ship anything on Etsy. Everything that I sell on Etsy, I've made by hand. Wow. All right. So I thought I broke these up, but I did not. Any tips for anyone, for someone wanting to start a small Etsy shop with their art? Um, there are things they don't tell you when you want to start an Etsy shop, and I suggest uh, doing a lot of research on YouTube and finding out exactly what everybody else is doing. The reason I say that is because I had an Etsy shop for a very long time. I did not know that uh, the things that people sort by are star seller, uh, bestseller, and free shipping. So if you don't hit one of those three categories, you're already in the hole. So the thing is, like, if you're going to start an Etsy shop, you want to start out very small. You want to have like incredible customer service. You want to ship everything immediately as soon as you can. And once you get your star seller, then you can start expanding. Now, what everybody else will tell you is like, I think Etsy even says like, if you're not putting a new listing on every week or something, like you go down. You don't go down nearly as far as if you screw up your star seller or if you don't offer free shipping. So I would take a few core products. And then the thing is, like, everybody wants the experience through Etsy. So uh, as soon as somebody places an order, you send them a message, and I have canned responses that I just go in and fill in their names and whatever. But it's like, thank you for your purchase. My name's Nick. I made this by hand. If you have any issues with it, please let me know before you leave me a review. Uh, and say that over and over and over, because if not, people will just leave you shitty reviews. But as soon as that thing mails out, send them another thing. Hey, just to let you know, your product's on the way. Here's your shipping number. Send them another one once they receive it. Hey, I just want to make sure everything's okay with that. It's all about that personal touch that you don't get with like a big box store or a bunch of the other shit salesman on Etsy now because you got a lot of Temu and stuff in there that are still selling stuff. So personalize the shit out of it. That's my that is my tips. Actually, my tips are if you really want to start an Etsy store, email me at the email address down below, and we can talk about it. What do you think? I really should read these beforehand. What do you do when the thoughts in your head get too loud to focus? My answer to that is medicated or unmedicated. Unmedicated, I go down a spirally hole and I sit on the couch. Medicated, I think twice. And one of I I said this earlier, but one of my favorite things to do when I'm not motivated is to come out and just clean the shop. And I know it sounds like dumb, like who wants to clean a shop, but I do. I want to put all my shit away, is what I want to do. So I'm like, okay, man, I really want to make content today. I don't have a project, but you know what? Like, let me just go put everything away so it's ready when I am ready to, you know, work. And I shit you not, as soon as I walk to that front or through the door of the shop, my mood changes like that. It is night and day. If I could wake up in the shop, I would. What's the hardest part about filming your own builds? It takes me 3 times, at least 3 times as long to build anything because you got to worry about where the camera is pointed, moving the camera, getting the right angle. Does this look right on camera? What does this look like? Also, the fact that I can't, I have to make sure like that I look okay, and I don't look like a complete bum. I know I do, but like, you know what I mean? Like, consistency of shots. So sometimes I need to worry about like, was I wearing the same shirt? Dean Duplantis like made a point of in one of my videos. I changed shirts like I think it was 13 times, and in my defense, it was in Houston in summer, and I didn't have any air conditioning in the garage. So what I would do is I would work until lunchtime. I would go in and I was soaked to the bone with sweat. So I would take a shower, I would change, I would come back out. But what you'll notice is in a lot of my videos now, I'm only wearing black shirts. So even if I change shirts, it's not so abrupt. Before I would just wear different colors and people would see it. If yeah, I I would love honestly what would be really cool is if somebody would just follow me around and film me working. One, I don't want to pay somebody to do that. Two, I don't trust anybody else to get the shots I want. So sorry. Let's see. Do you follow a schedule? Do you follow a schedule or is it more go with the flow? I both. I have to I have to make a schedule so I can not adhere to it. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody else, but if I didn't have a schedule, I wouldn't do anything. When I have a schedule, I don't necessarily follow it, but at least it gets me started. And then my ADHD takes over and I go, but shit gets done. If I did not have a schedule at all, I would not get started in the morning. So, yes and no. I would not suggest my schedule to anybody else. I would definitely say have like an outline of something you want to do. But a lot of times, and it's funny, I joke with Paige about this all the time. I'm like, I will sit down and I have 5 things I need to do today. And I think when I thought about those 5 things, that it was very reasonable they were all going to happen in one day. And then I get in the weeds on the first thing, and the first thing takes me all day. So at least I had a plan. Do I like keychain projects or commission projects? I like commission projects. However, so like I like keychains because they're easy, like the design and everything is what takes the time. Other than that, I could just cut them with a laser, no big deal. Commission projects, I like commission projects, but I have a problem with people telling me what to do too. So uh when you want something commissioned, you get very loose guidelines on what the end product is going to be. Now, I will say this, on the flip side of that, I don't charge you like half up front or anything like that. Like you need to put out a deposit so I know you're serious. Uh, and then you say you want something and I make it and you're not happy with it, we can just walk away. But I do not. Like, okay, so when I say commission projects, I mean commission art projects. Um, Commission laser projects are something totally different. That's more business. If you want commissioned art from me, you're getting what I'm making you, if that makes sense. It'll be awesome, but you you don't get a whole lot of say in my artistic process. Now, if you want 20 tumblers done and you want like your design on or whatever, like that's completely different. Like that's business versus art. What's up, Jim? So guys, go check out the Edge of Tech. Um, he just unboxed like the new Bamboo, the crazy new 3D printer. And one, you got to give the guy props because he unboxed the thing not knowing anything about it live. But the machine seems pretty solid. Jim does some like great work. And what we need Jim to do is start making 3D printed Jeep ducks for us to take and duck other Jeeps. But when I say 3D printed Jeep ducks, I want crazy Jeep ducks. So like horror themed ones, sci-fi ones. I've seen like a xenomorph duck, but I want crazy ones that I can put on other people's Jeeps they've never seen before. Good work, Nathan. Yeah, like Jim and I have just been kind of like for a long time. I just when we first started talking, I was more interested in 3D printing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not interested in 3D printing. I'm just horrible at it. Oh, I'm really interested in the new Bamboo because one of the things I found out that I was having a problem with living in Houston was I would, and I didn't know this at the time, I would take a new roll of filament out of the wrapper and I would make something with it and it would work perfect. And then a couple weeks later, I would go to make the same thing and it would just like frizz all over the place. And I didn't realize that like humidity was a big deal. My understanding is the new bamboo, like, doesn't it like dehumidify the filament as it goes out, Jim? A random fire made art piece? Yeah, of course I would. That's actually on the list. I don't know if I don't know if y'all are using Chat GPT as your new employee, but I am, and she or he uh, suggested that. So it's on the list. It's on the list, man. All right. Let's see. What we got? What distractions mess you up the most when you're trying to work? All of them. But I would say, well, my biggest distractions are always myself, right? Because I rabbit hole really easily and I completely get off track. My biggest distractions, though, are my children because I think I'll say this without sounding like my dad was shitty because he wasn't. My dad always had something else to do. Um, so I've decided that whenever my kids need me, uh, that I drop everything and 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 help them if I can. Sometimes I can't, but most of the time, like that's my thing. Um, and so that's probably the most distracting thing because like I'm not whining at all. I just am saying that, like, okay, so my dad would never play video games with me, right? Like, there just wasn't his thing. I like playing video games, and my kids like playing video games. So if I'm in the middle of something and my son comes up to me and asks me if I want to go play Fortnite, I drop what I'm doing and I go play Fortnite with him. Two reasons. One, I kind of like playing Fortnite, but two, because my dad wouldn't. Uh, they, the twins are my biggest distraction. They're my biggest motivation too. So I think it's kind of a wash. But yeah, my biggest distraction is probably my children. I have not. I wouldn't mind doing it. I just don't really know what I would do. Um, funny side note, somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I've been following your channel since since you were doing concrete work," and I'm like, "I've never done concrete work, so I don't know who it was." All right, schedule distractions. I did save this one for last because I thought it was funny because I've been married for like 25 years. But the question is, what was my worst date ever? And I distinctly remember my worst date ever. I was in high school, I was a senior, and a girl that was in kind of our friend group was like, "You would really like my friend. She goes to a private school, but she's going to be home for whatever break. You guys should go out." So there's this total blind date. I worked at a barbecue restaurant at the time. Okay. Um, and I talked the owner into setting us up with like a prime rib dinner, like a fancy prime rib and blah blah blah. And I go to pick her up, and she was 100% not what I expected. I don't think it was what she expected either. But I was trying to be nice. And so I was like, "Hey, introductions, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take you out to eat, restaurant I work at." And she's like, "Oh, that's great." And so we get there, and I had this whole prime rib thing set up. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, the owner's gonna like make us prime rib and whatnot. She's like, I'm a vegan, which if you're a vegan or not, that's fine. I don't care. But that's a huge hell no for me. Anybody that knows me would not set me up with a vegan because I like me some meat. But you can imagine where the date went after that, where I was like, hey, have this like bloody slab of meat. And she's like, no, I'll have salad. Um, yeah, it's horrible. It was really bad. And if I learned anything from that, it was that the girl that introduced us has no clue what's going on. Of course, she likes a bone. I'm not saying the date didn't end okay. I'm saying that we shouldn't have gone out in the first place. Sometimes I'm charming. All right. I have been on here for like an hour and a half. What's up, guys? Like, does anybody else have any questions? I also like if you guys have any suggestions or something you guys want me to do on the channel, let me know. I know Jim had a great idea back in the day, and actually, Jim, you can tell me if it it probably planned out for you. It wouldn't plan out for me. But he had a new set where he had like these uh, bookcases that were just empty, and he was like, "Send me your stuff, and I'll put it on there." And if I did that, like nobody sent me anything. But if you guys want to send something in, or you guys want to send like pictures in of something you've done, let me know, man. I will absolutely show that off. I mean, I know people occasionally send me, pictures of their stuff, but a lot of times it's for me. But I would totally do that. Other than that, I'm gonna split out of here. If you guys have any questions, anything you want me to address, all right, Jim. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. He said it didn't get much traction. I always thought it'd be cool too to like, hey man, I'll put your stuff on my wall. Uh, but yeah, it didn't like. Oh yeah, Nathan. So if anybody knows anything about Discord, please let me know because I don't know shit. Okay, like I don't know how Discord works. I don't know anything about it. I had a subscriber come to me years ago and he's like, hey, listen, I want to make you a Discord channel. Sure. He made it. And he was like, I was like, so how do I do this? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I just wanted to see if I could do it. So I have a Discord channel that I don't even understand how it works. So if y'all want to jump in on the Discord channel, like I will make you administrators and you can do all sorts of shit. Like I don't care. Because I don't understand it. I don't go there unless, well, I go there just to check it. I somehow have some sort of bot that puts my videos on there, but it sends it out to everybody, which I'm sure is just irritating, but I can't figure out how to turn it off. So, oh, oh, look at Jim gifted memberships. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. So, guys, if you have a new membership, go check out the stuff. Like, I'm still trying to vibe into the membership thing because, like, I was sending out membership only posts and members weren't receiving them. And I found out that you have to go in and turn something on. So, my thing is like, members should be able to kind of like, dictate the channel to a certain degree. Uh, and I was sending stuff out and nobody was responding. So, uh, if you did just get gifted a membership, go in and make sure that you have whatever notifications you need to have turned on to see when I send you messages. It's not that I don't have a ton of time for Discord. It's the fact that I don't understand it. And at one point in time, we had this like great idea to make a bunch of extra channels that I don't think need to be there now. And part of that was me. I was trying to figure some stuff out. But I just I needed to be streamlined and I needed to not blast out every time I put a short up because I know like every time I send a short out, it blasts it out to everybody or a video or anything, and then I immediately see 10 people leave the server. So I know it's irritating. I just can't figure out how to turn it off. Take it easy, Jim. Appreciate it, brother. Let's talk soon. Call me. Let's go to Murph or Murph or whatever where the murder robots are. I don't know, but I would like to go there and see murder robots. So let's do it. All right, guys. Something start. Oh, that's you. I'm gonna get out of here. Teach me how to fix it, Nathan. I know it's a notification function. I just can't figure it out. And when I Google it, it's like I'm like the YouTube bot keeps sending the things out. They're like, "What YouTube bot? I don't know what's doing it." All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm tired. But before I go, shit, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be on a podcast tomorrow, Rick's 2 Cents, Shop Talk Live. I do not have the address thing yet, but I will send it out tomorrow on YouTube and well on YouTube. But like if you want to hang out tomorrow, I think it's 6:30 Central Time. And I think it goes for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Come hang out, see what those guys are doing. It's Rick's 2 Cents. Steve makes everything, and the third guy I'm blanking on, but it's three makers, and they just like to hang out, shoot shit, kind of like this. I'm out. I love you, Daddy out. I hate that I have to wait for this thing to come up before